Welcome back to another episode of Inside Access Control, sponsored by SIA. Very excited today and honored to have Mark Duato join me. He's the Executive Vice President for ASSA ABLOY. So, Mark, thank you very much for taking the time to do this.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you, Lee. It's a real pleasure and an honor to be invited in. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you would, before we jump into what I know is going to be a great conversation, do you mind just give a little bit of background of yourself and the company and what part you cover?
Sure, absolutely. So I've been in the security industry for 35 years. It's amazing where the time goes. And I'm sure those of us that are participating in this meeting today that have been around for a long time would agree that the evolution and the progression we've seen in the security industry is nothing short of amazing through that time frame. And I came to ASSA ABLOY about 10 years ago, primarily to lead a business development team specifically around our electronic innovations, starting with end user education and demand generation in the trenches with some of our innovative products, integrated locks, wireless solutions, really the full continuum of electronic portfolio that we have. Since that time, my role's evolved a bit. My current role within ASSA ABLOY is really focused in on the aftermarket business development channels. So we in our organization have a lot of resources that are focused specifically in on product and solutions education. The teams that I'm responsible for are more channel development teams. We cross virtually all of the brands that are in the ASSA ABLOY portfolio. My team is not directly responsible for the HID portfolio. That's managed separately for the HID team. But we work very closely with the partner community out there. We work very closely with the OEM access control platform partners, the systems integrators, the security professionals, locksmiths, security dealers, and the channels that are providing our products and services to them. So that's essentially an aftermarket focus, but an important element of what we do every day.
Yeah, absolutely. And I got to believe through what's going on right now where with COVID and the response to it, the aftermarket, our industry spends a lot of time on new construction, but the aftermarket of getting these places up to speed to where they can be so people can get back to work and get back to play is going to be even more, I believe.
Well, I think the aftermarket has done a phenomenal job as essential service providers through the economic, healthcare, and social challenges and crises that we've been all dealing with right now. So that's been critically important. In the same breath, our business as ASSA ABLOY is so heavily centric around the way that we get our products into buildings and through the construction and large retrofit space, that it creates a lot of opportunity for aftermarket service providers to support those brands and also to work closely with us to find opportunities to bring more solutions to end customers. So it's we've seen the construction side of our business modify and change and evolve just here in the last 90 to 120 days. The aftermarket is critically important. So.
Yes, and let's if we could talk a little bit about that. You talked about essential, you talked about the dealers in the aftermarket side. So one of the trends that we've been talking about here and have watched was the integrators had an interesting relationship with the industry itself, and once everything shut down and we got back to people actually being able to go out to the marketplace, it really highlighted the essential side, these dealers. That's where they were, designated that and talked about that. And I believe it's something that's going to stay and stick. Now, what that looks like, who knows? But I think highlighting the fact that these integrators and dealers that we've all have been working with is essential. It's going to stay. So what do you see in the integrator side, the essential? What are your thoughts around that, and how do you all approach them and support them?
That's a great question, Lee, and I appreciate you asking it. I think first and foremost, there's going to be a lot of pressure on the integration channel, as well as the security professional / locksmith channels to provide expanded services and solutions to customers as the needs of the end user are changing. For instance, when you think about low power automatic openings and the importance of being able to integrate those things into electronic access control, and even frankly, mechanical elements of that, the end user community is now looking at the importance of having contactless, touchless solutions, frictionless access, if you want to call it that. But all those things are at the forefront of how enterprises are thinking about their own businesses. And so they're asking our partner community, what can you do to help us here? Our job is to build all of the different components and products and package them up in a way that helps the partner community, whether it's the wholesalers delivering those products to the integrators and security professionals, or whether it's the security professionals and integrators being able to package up and deliver those solutions and service and support them for the end user community. So, we think of it in a layered approach. We have to essentially accommodate all of those things, but the essential service providers and systems providers will be asked to do more. They'll ask to have more education around the opening, and how the integrators and aftermarket service providers choose to do that is where the opportunities are.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about that. Yeah, because with every opportunity, there's responsibility that comes along with it as well. And I have to believe it's going to get a little tough for them because the execution mode of right now of having to get stuff done, if you would, it makes it, I think, hard sometimes to do some of the fundamental training and education. And it's like I'm busy with work, so I don't go to the gym. Although I know that it's good to go to the gym. So with that, what are your thoughts on what are some practical things that they may be able to do, or what resources do you offer that could help them with that?
That's a great question too. And I have to tell you, the demand for education over the last 90 to 120 days has been exponential. So I think the channel communities have responded incredibly quickly to getting more educated around these types of solutions for their customers. And I'm incredibly proud of the work that ASSA ABLOY has done, both the operating companies and the specific brands for both mechanical and electromechanical solutions in bringing content to the marketplace to educate our partners and end users on the options and the value of these types of solutions. ASSA ABLOY Academy has the demand for the education has been through the roof in a really good way. And we also have a lot of virtual instructor-led training programs, or what we're calling VILT training programs, available for our customers. So, in terms of the education, at least with respect to ASSA ABLOY, there's really no reason why you can't get really up to speed on the different components that are available to deliver a solution.
Yeah, it's just about more of a case of finding the time and making it a priority on that end to go do it, which again, like you said, the demand of, we were joking earlier before we got on, this idea that the industry needs to move out of the security basement or the security closet now, because of the level of awareness. I'm a firm believer as we go more mainstream, it's going to create a different conversation than we've had, and it's going to be well beyond just the security side of what we do on that end. So as you think about that, and we've talked a little bit about it, I guess, what is that different look like in some cases? Is it someone that understands logical access? Is it I don't know. There's
Yeah.
probably a lot of things. What do you think it is?
Well, first and foremost, I think we've all experienced that trend towards a lot of different key influencers now in a business enterprise, regardless of what the vertical segment is. For instance, you know, higher ed has for a long time generally had committees of people influencing decisions on what they want to do for security. That includes IT, it includes facilities, it includes security people, and everything in between. And as we all know, the IT segment has been incredibly important as well, because even when you think about things like identities and credential management and mobility, those are decisions that are often driven by the IT side of the house. So where I think the extra layer of opportunity is going to emerge, and if we talk about the integrators and security professionals out there, if you're doing electronic access control today, and let's say you're doing a 30 or 40 door access control system, which is, what our partners do every single day, right? If 10 or 20% of those openings now need to be automated, and the partner community can deliver an extra $1,500 to $2,000 worth of services per opening on the front end, why would they leave that to another segment to do? Why wouldn't they want to bundle that in and have a good discussion with the partners about how to accomplish their objectives? So I think that that's where I referenced more demand on the partner community for understanding these types of contactless options and implementing them, because the real revenue and service opportunities on the backside. And if you're not prepared to do that work, someone else is going to do it. If you're not prepared to have the discussion with your customer, someone else is going to have that discussion. And that's a really big partly of what we're trying to do, is educate our partners on those discussions.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe there's a value arbitrage that is moving when, now that you've had the safety conversation with control, safety with convenience, and then now you have the health side. And I'm seeing, just from the people that reach out to me that want to have discussions on, people like from not even anywhere near our industry before are now all of a sudden getting involved, and it's being driven a lot of cases by, let's say in the corporate side, the front office now needs a digital display to do temperature readings and information sharing and the rest of it. Now it's brought people in, access control becoming a feature of that. So 100%, I do think it's going to change. Now there will always need to be the need of the specialist, I believe. So that will be there, but I don't know if, like you're saying, I don't believe that the specialist is going to be the norm where it is currently now. So a lot of exciting times ahead. Lots to do on that side.
And I think business enterprises, when you really strip it all away, it's about the user experience at the opening. And I think often we, as ASSA ABLOY and our channel partners, when we think about our customer, we think about the people who are buying products from us, right? Ultimately, the end user experience is becoming more and more important. And I think we, as a manufacturer of all of these different systems and components that go into solutions, have to think about what does that contribute to, and how does that contribute to the end user experience. And in that sense, the channels tend to take care of themselves if the end user knows the value of what the solution is. And that's what's fast evolving. Because so much of this infrastructure, the way it's been done for so long, is being stripped out for new innovative ways of that end user experience at the opening. And the partner community has to be prepared for it.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, if I could go through the screen and hug, yeah, I 100% agree. I think the new stakeholder, like you said, our industry really stopped at the reader and the card, and you all have had a big part in that, where that was the experience, right? So it sort of neutralized it, and we focused on the admin and the integrator. And you have that new stakeholder now, that is the end user, and they're expecting. Which is interesting to me is I do believe that the consumerization experience that they see elsewhere is going to influence the commercial side, and this idea that we're going to be able to just stay back and say, leave us alone, this is about safety and keeping bad people out. They're going to say, yeah, you can keep bad people out and still let me get in my office with my phone. Like,
Yeah.
that's going to happen.
Well,
Yeah.
I agree with you. And really, for the first time ever, for those of us that have been around for a while, for the first time ever, the consumer experience is driving commercial applications and enterprise applications. So, a big part of our business with our Yale residential platforms is all about, intelligent openings at the home and using mobile solutions to make that experience simple. And that experience is what's driving the need for the end user. They want to be able to do it in the office the same way they do it at home. We haven't seen that really before. It's normally gone the other way for many years. So the world is still wide open for us to continue to develop and deliver these solutions into the marketplace, because end user needs are changing quickly, for sure.
100%, couldn't agree more. I think that's a good point for us to stop on this discussion, because I could talk all day with you on it. But I really appreciate, if people want to find out more information and get more education, where's the best place for them to go?
Well, I think from a website standpoint, if you go to www.intelligentopenings with an S, one word, .com, that'll give you a snapshot of a lot of the innovative products we're doing for electronic access control, whether it's wireless and integrated locks, and we have a couple of families that we do that with, or whether it's things like intelligent keys, and also other integrated electrified products. So intelligentopenings.com is a great place to start. In terms of your local support, I mean, ASSA ABLOY means a lot of things to a lot of different people. Our door security solutions business is essentially the sales and marketing arm for the majority of our brands in the US and Canada. And we have regional people that specialize in electronics, both on the technical side and on the business development side. So what I would say is, ask us to reach out to myself or any one of our door security solutions members to connect you to your integration solution specialist and some of our other aftermarket channel partners to help streamline this whole process. And you can go to door security solutions under the ASSA ABLOY website, and you'll be able to get to those people pretty quickly. So
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Mark. I appreciate you taking the time to share a little bit of the insight and the thoughts. That you're out in the marketplace. You're one of the thought leaders in the industry. So thanks for taking the time to share that with us. Thank you.
yeah, and thanks, Lee, and thank you also to everyone who's participating here for everything that you're doing out there to help people live and do business in a safe and secure environment as they can. We appreciate everything the channel's doing, and we want to continue to be a world-class provider for each of you in what you're doing. So we're here to help. And Lee, I can't thank you enough for what you're doing for the industry and giving everybody a nice forum to have these types of discussions. So thank you.
Well, I'm honored to have the opportunity to do so. So thank you very much. All right.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, sir. You too.
Thank you.
Bye.